Hello everyone, Wanda the Foiling Rock Lady here with you, and I'm about ready to embark on a huge adventure, and I'm going to bring you along. I've got this beautiful eagle that I'm doing, and I just think that you guys would be totally stoked to watch and maybe try it yourselves. So this is what I'm doing on this ginormous piece of Santorini. I haven't even measured it, but it's huge. It's very big. I'm looking for my ruler, just in case you're wondering. Anyways, I'm working on this, and I'm going to use this for inspiration on what colors to put where. I wonder if that helps. I turn my light on. Anyways, I'll be using watercolors, probably pens, pencils, maybe even my watercolor palette with some transparent faceted nail foils. I'll be using SXC nail art foil glue or Mac Art nail art foil glue with the Mac Art Mini 6-watt light and 12 volt UV LED, not 12 volt, 12 LED UV flashlight. For spot curing. There's a lot of small places here that I'll be working on. I'm going to line it in jet black and Posca 1MR black. Might use Mayan Gold 5541 by Folk Art Treasure Gold series. And some liner brushes, disposable eyeliner brushes for the glue. And what else? I think that's pretty much the basics. Tools. I'll probably use some of these silicone tip nail tool, stylus dotting nail tool, some little scissors to cut the foils. These are things you need to have around you within reach, so you're all prepared and you don't have to get up and walk away from your project too often. Tweezers, your best friend when you're working with staticky foils. Also, I've noticed on Santorini, sometimes you get little black marks or marks around it. You can take a piece of sandpaper and clean those up very easily with a piece of sandpaper. Just thought I'd share that little tip. I'm new to the Santorini life, about just a couple of months. I've been painting on them and absolutely love them. Love them, love them, love them. Shelley's Santorini Stones by Shelley on Facebook. Amazing Santorini. Gorgeous. I highly recommend that. All right, well, let's get started here. So I usually have this part done when I start the tutorial, but I just want to do a little bit with you guys, and this is going to be a long tutorial. So get a snack, get a drink, snuggle up on your couch. It's cold this weekend in January in South Texas. It's freezing. We're having an ice storm. So pretty much everything has come to a screeching halt here. It was almost 90 degrees here the other day. Like seriously, 5-6 days ago, it was almost 90 degrees. And now we're below freezing. So fun days ahead for us. I know y'all are laughing, thinking, boy, we got 6 feet of snow, 25 below zero. Well, God bless you. Here in Texas, we don't know how to act when it gets like that. So anyways, let's get some business done. I started down here to see if I wanted to use Posca or a brush, and I decided on a brush, hopefully, for most of it. Hopefully I have what it takes. Anyways, I'm going to start on the right side. I guess I do that because I'm just disablingly right-handed. And of course, this is the branch our bird is sitting on. So I'm going to keep this traditional colors instead of my normal rainbow. I am going to use traditional eagle colors, white face, white tail feathers, brown, black feathers on the body. And the tree branch, I have an amazing bark foil that looks like tree bark. And I'm going to use that. Hopefully I have enough of it Fingers crossed. If not, I will be painting it a different color brown. And hoping for the best. So, you guys should be pretty good at lining. You can definitely use your pens, Posca. I just want a thinner line until I'm very sure about what I'm doing here. Go ahead and line everything. I'm going to line everything with black. You can do it your way. You know, if you wanted to leave the white, or line it with white or gold. If you really want that really, really white, I just want to have the separation. Plus, my style is more like coloring book, so I have a defined line in my work, and then I work inside of that line. But you do you. Anyways, I'm going to pause because this is going to take me probably 2 hours to line this, so you don't need to watch all that. Anyways, I'll be right back with you. Howdy, howdy. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to start in the color. I've lined my bird with my brush and paint. That was Apple Barrel Jet Black. And now I'm going to do some of the yellow work, like the beak and the eye and the talons, or the feet. Sorry, beak, eye, feet. I thought I'd go ahead and set that in there. So I'm going to grab these two pencils from the King Art Woodless Watercolor Pencil Set, 24 pack. Yep. We're just going to do this. Alrighty then. Just a minute. I'm just grabbing a little cup of water. And here we go. I'm using a disposable eyeliner brush to do some detail work with because it's super, super fine. And so I'm dipping my pencil in the water, getting it wet, not drippy wet, but just activating the water. I don't want to drip on my pretty thing, so just to show you. So I'm getting it wet and then I'm pulling the color off of the pencil with the brush. Okay. And I'm going to put that in the eye. Eagles have really bright golden eyes. Okay. And the beak, which I'll be adding some more colors to it also, but I'm going to start with this lighter color first. And you want to stay inside your lines because it will bleed out into your art. It's watercolor. It will bleed everywhere, so don't get it too wet. Here's a piece of fuzz. And then I'm going to get the darker yellow. called Naples yellow. The first yellow is primrose yellow. And this is Naples yellow. And this I'm adding into the beak around the darker areas. I might just pop that down in there. Some darker color there. And a bit down in here. Okay, and be careful not to touch your white because the feathers are very, very white. All right, so I'm going to work on the brown, or I'm sorry, I need to do down here a little bit. I want this darker color, orange. So I got this pencil wet and I'm just working it into my dish a little. Okay, I have these two colors, primrose yellow. And then this orange, which is just orange, is what it's called. I'm just going to work a little orange into there. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't even see that. Just give our foot a little bit of definition, right? I'm going to take just a smidge of the orange, put it up here in this beak. All right, like so. Okay, and I'm going to pick out some browns. I'm going to leave these out because there's some lighter colors around the feathers. Well, maybe not these. Anyhow. So I'm going to start working with these colors in my dish over here. This one's like a black brown called burnt umber. These two sit here. Balance. Okay. So I'm just going to start adding little bits of color into our feathers. The tips of the feathers are a lot lighter, so I'm trying to leave the very tip area without this dark color on it. These outer feathers are nearly black. And I apologize if there's long silent pauses during this tutorial. This is my very first eagle, so I am learning with you. So I am going to go around these feathers and do this around all of them, and then these down here I'll be coloring in pretty much mainly dark. These here are lighter, like a silvery gray. Tail feathers are white. Okay, I'm almost done blocking in the burnt umber. See, I'm just adding it to the feathers that have the deep brown in them. Trying desperately to stay out of the areas with the white. Okay. And now I'm just going to take some water and spread this, just activate the pencil. Okay, I'm going to get this gray going. Just going to clean my water. Add a little here. This is slate. Slate is very, very light, I guess. Kind of a milky gray, I guess. Anyways, doing tips with that. Looks like the silver tips in the feathers. So you can go around your eagle feathers where you just laid down burnt umber, take your slate gray and blend back from the light side here into the feathers. So start on your white rock blend it back into the brown. That way you don't just turn it all brown. And remember, you don't have to be super detailed. You just want to make sure you can still see your definition in there. Because when we go to foil, we will not be foiling on the black areas. Does that make sense? I hope. But we want the color to be there. I think I'm going to change over to a watercolor brush. It has a nice tip on it. This is a water brush for watercolors. You can fill it with water, but I'm not doing that since I'm not just using water. Okay, so work your way around the back feathers, and then I'll meet you for the white. Okay, finishing up here with the slate gray. So I was hoping for that kind of a look, and I think it's, yeah, I think I did it, sort of. But when we put the foils on, it'll be, oh la la. Okay, so these feathers in here are also brown. I had to look it up. Yes, they are. They're pretty dark, so slate brown it is. Just put it on the fluffy feather parts. Let that dry just a tiny bit. Just come in a little with the slate gray, connect it, and it'll dry. Kind of swirly-ish. right. If you got too much water in there, you can dry your brush off and then just touch it to the rock and it'll suck some of the water off of there. Pull some of the water back off of the rock. So now it's too light again. Darn it. It's a different brown. That was not intentional, but we're going to go with it. Okay, we're going to leave that alone. Okay, for the white, dun, 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 I'm not doing the branch because I have a whole foil that's going to be on the branch. Get these out of here so I don't get them on the rock. You guys know me, I'm accident prone. Get these colors out of here. Okay, now the white is very, 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 very white on the eagle. So I'm just going to take a smidge of white acrylic matte paint. And this is actually Americana Snow White in a smaller bottle. I have a big bottle of it. Americana Matte White Snow White. Pardon the sniffles. It's because our heater came on. Now I'm warming up and you know, your nose starts dripping when you get warm. Anyway, so I'm just going to use a tad bit of, make sure your brush is really, really clean. No color left in it. And then we're just going to take a smidge of water and basically make watercolor with our acrylic. Like so. I just think this is whiter than my watercolor white pencil. So, and I don't want very much of it, just enough to add in here. So we don't want to take away all the sparkles, but we are adding white to change it just a bit from the rock. Try not to get on your black. I know you can't even see it. Anyways, this white is just a tad less white than the white on the rock, so it gives it sort of a creamier, I don't know, natural look. I'll have to touch up the black. And I've got almost the white finished around the face feathers and the head. Okay, switch down to the tail feathers, whites. Yeah, I'm so going to have to be touching up the black because I cannot stay in my lines. What's the matter with me? Now this section over here, I made a boo-boo, so I'm going to use a thicker bit of the white to try to fix my boo-boo. Like about like that. Not too bad. Cool part is we're going to be foiling it, so that'll all be blended, so not to worry. All right, got to let this dry for a minute. While it's drying though, I'm going to take the Posca and just try to bring back some of the darkness around some of these lines. Okay. And in these, hang on. In the feathers, there's usually a center, like, definition, like right down in these centers. And I sort of lost that definition when I put in the brown. So I just want to put back some of those, I guess, pinstripey looks, because that is our foil definition. Our foil definition, like the fence for our foil. That's where we're going to be trying to stay off the black lines to give our foil the definition. I hope that's making sense, guys. So like that. Go ahead and put your pin striping back in there. Hello. Okay. Wood grain foil. Too cool, right? I think so. Okay. So I'm thinking this, since the other one's sort of a walnut polished look like you would see on a furniture. Yeah, nah. This one, obviously, is kind of on a furniture too, but it's more... Maybe our tree branch might be too close to our... Oh, but he's going to have foil, so I'm going to put one this way. I did this on an owl branch. I did an owl and then the branch. And it was gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Okay, gloves. Gloves, my darlings. And we're going to do the branch first, and then we will start with the fantastic iridescent, transparent, la-da-da, gorgeous foils that I love so very much. Okay, so here, we're going to take our glue, pour it in a dish, because it's a lot easier to deal with from the dish. And it is really cold in here today, so my glue is like thick gel. So I'm going to put it in my pocket because I'm going to have to use it several times. I'm putting it in my apron pocket to keep it warm. Make sure your lid's on real tight if you do that. If you don't have an apron, or you want to keep it warm another way, you could use a warm coffee warmer, or just warm it up under the water, warm cup of water. Or just be very careful, as the bubbles will kind of move to the side. And if you haven't pumped your bottle a lot, then the bubbles shouldn't be too bad inside the bottle. But you don't want bubbles, not your friend, especially on wood grain, because it's a pattern and it's a solid foil. So I'm going to start here. And I'm going to stay off the black. But I need to get all of the white. And if we do see white through our foil, we can always just hit it with a black Posca or a brown pen, because it's wood grain, right? Wood is barky. It's not, it's pretty forgiving, so we can make this work. You stay off of Mr. Eagle. And also I want you to see that if you try to foil straight onto white or Santorini with a clear foil, the glue yellows. So it's pretty tough to do that if you really want a crisp white color. So I don't recommend foiling on top of white with a clear foil, because it will turn yellow. So I'll show you in a moment. You can already see it turning yellow. It happens so fast. Anyways, let that cure one cycle. Okay, that's cured. And can you see the difference in color? It's sort of a yellowy versus the white. That's what I was trying to show you. But we're not covering it with clear, we're covering it with wood. So I cut off a little section here, and I want it to go the direction of my wood. So I'm just going to see. So it'd be about, would it be that way, or would it be this? It's this way. Very confusing, yeah? Okay, have a Q-tip or a silicone tip nail tool handy to get around the edges of your branch. And when you lift this up, you're going to do it oh so slow. That way, if you missed, get your tweezers. And if you missed a piece and it's not coming off like that, lay it back down. I shouldn't have torn it all the way off. See all the places that it didn't stick to? Okay, so we're going to lay it right back in its place. That is not the way I suggest doing this. Also, you can take a stylus and rub the edges. And lift up slow. Well, that's a lot better. And look at that cool branch. Neato. So on these little bits of white, you can just take your Posca here. Like that. Okay, we're going to do that to all sections in this branch here. So I'm going to pause you for... Okay, done with the branches. Oops, just getting these remnants into the remnant stack. Don't get rid of your foils because there's still lots left on them. Okay, so for this part of the bird, you want to make sure it's dry, and I still had a few little wet spots here. But you got to make sure it's absolutely 100% dry or the glue will not do its thing. Okay, I'm going to use transparent, my favorite foils. Yay. So let's plan this out. So in the white parts, they're like fluffy, feathery areas. So I was thinking the large crushed glass one, this here. To give it that. Now the glue will turn a bit yellow, but that's okay because on a bald eagle, their white feathers are bright white, but they're yellowy, a yellowy white. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. And start here. My glue is so, see, it's like syrup thick. It's so cold. So try not to go outside of your birdie lines, your black lines. Don't cover any lines either. We want that definition in the foil. This glue is resin based, so I don't know if you've worked with resin before, but if you have, you can do the edges of your project and then pull the resin around to it, and it will self-level and fill in the middle parts quite nicely. Okay. And I'm going to give this a little torch since it's so cold. Warm it up just a little bit. And hit it with the light while it's warm. And keep your fingers crossed. Okay, once it's cured, so I just wanted to show you, look how gorgeous. You know, I'm going to turn off the flash because then you can see the yellow. I think. Yeah, see the difference in the color of the glue and the stone? Because Santorini is like the whitest thing I've ever seen. It's white as snow, and it's gorgeous. Okay, so our beautiful foils. It's going to take 2. So you want to, no wrinkles. Apply that. Leave it on there. Make sure that edge is down nice and firm, and then apply a second foil. To the edge part. So we basically are making one foil, but it's better if you apply them at the same time rather than trying to find the edge of a foil. Okay, and then take up the last one you put on first. Okay, and then the other one. And you feel the sticky. I'm taking my glove and just sort of taking some of the sticky off, but it's leaving the foil on there. You see the nice, beautiful fuzz. It's so pretty. I love foil. You guys probably think I'm like a 5-year-old. I think we might need glue. Okay, so we're gonna do the tail feathers. Same way. Try not to let them touch like mine are. They do that. Shoot it real quick so it stops. Okay, then finish your... I have to get some more glue, but I don't know where I put it. Huh. All right, we're going to MAC art. I was using a sexy, but who knows where I put it. I mean, geez, it's me. little tiny sections here. If your brush is still too wide, you can trim them to make them thinner, you know, to make a smaller bristle, like a finer liner brush. If I was using full metallics or a full patterned foil, static, or a full patterned foil, I would definitely trim the brush to make it needle fine. But since these are transparent, basically clear, I'm not too worried about it. And that, my friends, is why I love transparent nail foils. Nail foils. Yes, I'm in Texas, but boy, my accent's not that thick. Nail foils. Well, my husband's is. He says oil. That's how you say oil, right? I'm from California originally. We say oil. My husband says, oh. Oh. Yep. He says, I need some oil. When I first met him, I had no clue what he was saying. What is oil? Got no idea. Oh my goodness. It was hilarious. But now I can't even hear accents. Do you believe it? Yepperty doodle, I can't even hear them. I wonder why. What was the other thing he used to say? Why? It was why? Why would you? Why should I? Why? Oh, what? Sorry, he's gonna kick my rear end. Thankfully, my husband doesn't do social media, so he'll probably never even know. Okay, I'm going to show you something. See the ripples in the tail feathers there? The bubbles? That's from cold glue. But that's okay because they're feathers. And it's okay on the clear foils. We like that texture. It's a plus. But it's not cool if you're doing full opaque like these. Or full foil. When I say full foil, full metallic. No. That won't work, not at all. Because it will come out very crazy looking. You'll have lots of holes and dips and divots on your metallics. Right? We're going to let this cure for one cycle. Okay, guys, I got to tell you something funny. You remember I lost the SXC glue just a minute ago and had to use the MAC art. Well, now, earlier, you guys, I was telling you about how cold the glue was, and I was going to put it somewhere special to keep it warm. Do you remember where I put it? That's right, folks. It's in my pocket. I'll be doggone. It's in my pocket. Oof, crazy. Crazy lady. Let me see here. I got part of this one left, so I'm going to use it on this outer feathers. Let's see, we got an edge on this one. We got to use our foils. And I'll put it on these outer feathers. Very good. Also very good. We have another section here for this big section of tail feather. Very nice. And a big section here. Well, how about that? I didn't have to cut any more foil. And now we've got some luxurious tail feathers and head feathers, face feathers. Now we're going to do this gorgeous brown body bits. So we're going to have 3 different kind of foils, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 3 different kinds. So we're going to use the small crushed glass, which is this guy here, this one here, and the laser, and this oil spill with the long lines in it for the longer feathers here. That's my plan anyway. So we will start with the small crushed glass. Make sure you have a nice sharp pair of scissors, folks. I gotta trade. And that they don't have any glue on them. Okay, got my foil here. So I'm gonna be going this way on here. I'm just mapping it out. I'm gonna make a cut here. And here. Okay, hang on to that guy. Put those two off to the side and start gluing. Now in these feathers it's going to be a little more difficult to contain your glue, so I recommend less glue, smaller area, and your flashlight if you have one. And when you're doing it, if you are like halfway through one feather, finish that area and then you can stop. Okay, I'm gonna grab my flashlight, spot cure. That's so we don't get them all bleeding back in together. And the flashlight's real fast, so just about 8 to 10 seconds. Bigger area. Make sure your light doesn't go into your glue. Don't point it away from the glue. Sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and put a foil down here. I was going to do the whole section, but I will show you and then I'll let you work on it. Okay, make sure you're putting the right side down if you're wearing gloves, which I really hope you are. And if you're not, you better not tell me. Anyways, drag your fingers across it. The side that has the drag goes on the rock. Also, shiny side up toward you, dull side goes on the rock. And you get your Q-tip or your silicone tool or stylus, which is a dotting tool. Oh, very pretty. Look. Oh goodness, that's just too beautiful for words. Okay, anyways, you keep feathering all the way around your eagle. I'm going to do this section, then I'll pop back in. I'm going to do these, and then I'll pop back in for the longer feathers. Alright, y'all, just checking in so you can see the first section down. Get gorgeous. Alright, I'm going to move into this bit here. Alright, my fluffy feathers. Going in for these lovely back feathers here. And I'm just going to glue the whole bit. Like so. Sorry for the long, quiet pause. You see that? Okay, I'm going to hit that, cure it. Yeah, I'm going to do the quick cure because it's a small section. And I decided to use the discs. Oh, come on, focus. Hang on, I'll get it to focus. The discs, little circles. Okay, I'm going to use that one here. All in one go. So we get a separate look there. All right, long feathers. I forgot to do the fluffy ones around the side of the bird too. I'll find another one to do these right down here. This is so exciting, this eagle. Oh goodness, it's so beautiful. It might be the most beautiful rock I've ever made. All right, so I'm gonna glow. I'm gonna glow. I already glow. So I'm gonna go through here and do my feathers with glue, cure it, and then I will unpause these so you can see the foil go on. Okay, hopefully I got the right side going here. All right, I'm gonna try to, yeah, that's not gonna work. Oh yeah, well, looky here, guys. One swoop, I think I got them all. Silicone tool. And this foil is more opaque than you would think. So even though it is a clear transparent, it does obscure some color underneath it. So I think it's going to be great on these feathers. As you can see, the color on the rock. Very cool. Oh, I'm just loving this so much. Gotta put a little bit right here. Okay. And our fluffy feathers right here. I think I'm going to do those with this little bit here in the discs. Okay, and the little bit we have left from this section here. Okay, guys, I think we're done, but I just had this thought that I think I want to put some clear holographic on the beak, you know, because I can't stop on the beak. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's one little thing. One little thing. And it's eeny, meeny, miny, mo. This one. So I think we just got just enough glue for that. It'll give our beak some depth, some 3D effect with the cushion from the glue. So cool. All right, I'm gonna torch that one. I got some bubbles. And they're gone. I love it. It's gonna be so cool. Okay, get it real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You guys see that writing on my foil? When I have a hard time figuring out which side is up, I'll identify it and then I'll write it on my foil and put it in my box the right way. And then usually when I run out, I'll write it again so I know which side is the right side next time. Sometimes these clear ones are very, very hard to tell, and it will pull the paint off your rock if you get the wrong side of the foil. Or if you get a section of foil that's already been used, like, see these bits that are gone off this foil? If you put those down on your rock on a place that has already got glue on it, you could potentially tear it up. All right, we are done. What do you think? Very big eagle. Ta-da! Good job, everyone. If you liked what you saw here today and you would like to see some more, hit the bell after you hit subscribe and like. I'd love for you to come and paint with me some more, so I will be seeing you again real soon.